An investigation is underway after a cyber attack shut down Nevada state government offices, websites, and phone lines earlier in the week. Departments went offline to contain the threat before gradually restoring services. Some are still down. As far as what is currently operational, emergency services, including 911, state payroll, DMV, health programs, and unemployment services available. Governor Joe Lombardo says the incident was first detected early Sunday and warned residents that scammers may try to capitalize on the incident. For more insight, I'm joined now by investigative journalist Kim Zetter. She is the author of Countdown to Zero Day. And Kim, I mean, it's been nearly a week after the threat was first detected. Are you surprised that, recovery is taking this long?
No, it's actually recovered fairly quickly in terms of a number of services that came back online. This wasn't a complete outage, which was also a boon for Nevada. It could have been a lot worse. Sometimes recoveries can take weeks or months. So if most of those services are restored within a week, that's actually pretty good.
Okay, so Governor Joe Lombardo's office is saying that data was taken by bad actors, it's they're calling them, but didn't elaborate any further. What kind of information do you think was likely taken?
Well, you have to look at sort of the systems that were hit. In some cases, I think the DMV systems were hit, Highway Patrol. There was also an outage of the database, the criminal database. So if those systems were actually encrypted and if data was extracted from those, that's the kind of data that could have been obtained.
Like
I know there have
addresses?
been mixed, sorry?
Like addresses?
Potentially, if DMV information was taken. I know that they've gone back and forth between saying that there was possibly personal information taken, and then in other cases they've said no personal information has been taken. I think we're going to have to wait a while to actually fully understand what data was taken. When the attackers take data like this, they encrypt it first, and so it's hard to see what exactly gets extracted from the internet or what gets extracted from the network.
Yeah. An FBI spokesperson confirmed to CNN that the agency was assisting state officials with the investigation. So, how might that kind of collaboration help?
Well, with federal agencies, they obviously have a lot of experience dealing with, if this indeed is a ransomware case, they have a lot of experience dealing with specific groups, dealing with how to recover systems with keys, how to negotiate, how to talk with the attackers. So federal assistance can always bring a lot of experience that state workers don't have. It's actually really unclear here whether this was ransomware because the state said on Thursday that it was unclear whether or not there had actually been a ransom demand. So I think there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
And so we've seen, cyber attacks happen in cities or perhaps within companies, but this was an entire state. So what perhaps can other states learn from this?
Well, one of the things you have to do is be able to recover your data quickly. That will help you to avoid paying a ransom, but also help you to restore services. And so it's crucial for organizations, whether you're a state agency or a commercial organization, to have backups of your data, to have it backed up offline so that the attackers can't encrypt those systems as well. And also, it's really critical for you to segregate really critical data from everyday data so that not every system gets impacted. And one final thing that you need to do is to test your recovery process because quite often what happens is that victims haven't tested how long or the process of actually recovering the data. And so they often find that it's much more difficult and more time consuming than they anticipated.
So what kind of advice, is being given to people in Nevada on how they can protect themselves, what they should do preemptively before, any incriminating information is used against them in any way?
Well, the state is offering a website that will update them on the investigation so far. Also, people are able to go in person into state offices to see if maybe they can get more information about what data was taken that belongs to them. I think that will take a long time, though, for them to actually get those details. But people, if they aren't able to access services online, they can still go in person into the state offices and communicate with officials that way.
All right. Kim Zetter, thank you so much. Nice seeing you.
You're welcome.